where... Welcome back. Philippine President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo says the government is determined to broker a peace deal in the country's south. She noted that it has taken heavy political risk to achieve lasting peace in the restive southern Mindanao region. Mrs. Arroyo was speaking to delegates attending the non-aligned movement meeting on interfaith dialogue. Mrs. Arroyo said interfaith dialogue is essential to the peace process in Mindanao, but the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, a separatist group operating there, is unmoved. MILF said it will not sign a peace deal with the government. Filipino hero Manny Pacquiao is second to none in the boxing ring, but he faces a tough political fight which threatens to knock him out. Pacquiao is expected to run for a seat in Philippines Congress in May's national elections. His opponent, Ro Chongbian, is no pushover though. He comes from a family famous for business and political dealings. Analysts also warn Pacquiao's huge fan base may not convert to votes. And with less than 2 months to go, the Pac-Man machine may need to convince his supporters to turn out in full force at the country's first automated polls. However, operating polling machines is no arcade experience. To prepare for the polls, teachers are being trained to operate some 18,000 machines.
One by one, these public school teachers tried their hands in operating the Philippines' first voting machine. Come election day, they will help to direct voters on how to cast their new multiple choice ballots. But unlike the manual count of past elections, the new voting machine will now tally the votes.
Gusto ko po na itong automated kasi ang dali lang makuha ng result. Hindi katulad doon, it will take months or weeks bago natin malaman. Dito alam na natin talaga eh. On that day, malalaman mo na yung resulta ng botohan kung sino nanalo.
Stress. Kasi nung pagmano-mano kasi umabot kami ng 24 hours minsan sa election day namin. Tapos andyan yung magbabasa ka, andyan yung magbibilang, tapos pagod na pagod ka, tapos aantokin ka pa.
A total of 150,000 teachers will be trained nationwide to operate the Perceived Count Optical Scan Machines or PCOS machines. Now each batch of teachers will be trained for 2 days, and after which they will have to undergo a written and practical examination to be certified. Some 50,000 IT personnel are also being trained by the automated machine provider to assist the teachers and ensure smooth polls on polling day. Under the new system, voters can expect the complete results in 48 hours, instead of the usual 1 or 2 months.
Because change is difficult. I mean, this apprehension over automation has happened even in the United States. So what we've been doing in terms of communication since last year is really to help people gain confidence in the system and competence in filling up the new ballot.
More than 50 million voters are expected to cast their ballots on May 10. Christine Ong, Channel News Asia, Manila.
Well, there was high drama in a condominium in Kuala Lumpur. Residents there were alarmed when they spotted one of their neighbors in a precarious position. The man, an Iranian student, was sitting on a ledge on the 25th floor of his apartment block. Residents quickly called the fire and rescue department, but when they tried to coax him in, they realized he couldn't speak English or Malay, so they asked staff from the Iranian embassy to talk with him. After about 3 hours, he was persuaded off the ledge. The man said he wasn't thinking of committing suicide. He just wanted to sit on the ledge as he was just depressed after hearing about his father's death in Iran. And now let's take a look at what's making news around the world. China has repeated its commitment to a stable exchange rate as it faces growing international pressure to let the yuan appreciate. The IMF chief says the yuan is very much undervalued, adding that as the world economy rebalances, the yuan should rise. The World Bank has also urged China to let its currency appreciate. US lawmakers have called for tough new penalties on China if it fails to revalue its currency. The government of Fiji has declared a state of emergency following a devastating cyclone. The storm left about half the homes and buildings on the eastern Lao group of islands destroyed. international relief supplies have begun arriving. The United Nations Children's Agency believes about 150,000 Fijians may have been affected. So far, one person has been confirmed dead, but there are unconfirmed reports of a few more deaths as a result of the storm. And this is one tricky ride to follow. A Peruvian surfer has trained his pet alpaca to surf. The alpaca is a smaller version of the llama and is probably more at home in the Andes Mountains. But Pico, the alpaca, is cool to the training. He doesn't appear to mind riding on the surfboard with his master, although there are some who aren't amused by the stunt. The business news is still ahead, including Philippines' largest food and beverage conglomerate's plan to boost its growth. And our reporter tells us that Universal Studios Singapore has more to offer than just joyrides. Find out what's in store after the break.